Hello, I welcome you back to my YouTube channel. This video is not the regular, training video. Instead, I am sharing a real-world security alert that I received after I have intentionally exposed my AWS environment to vulnerabilities. So what I did was I um, hosted my SQL database on an EC2 machine, and I expose the port 3306, which is the default port for MySQL. I expose it into public traffic. I also spin up an EC2 machine and I expose the SSH port to public traffic. I did this intentionally to see how bad guys Reconnaissance to attack vulnerabilities in the cloud. In my environment, I set up certain security features. I set up AWS services such as GuardDuty. I set up AWS Config. I also set up CloudTrail in my environment. And I set up something called AWS Security Hub so that all the security findings that are being generated from GuardDuty, CloudTrail, AWS Config, and other security features that have been enabled in my environment can be aggregated into Security Hub, as I'm going to show you how it works. So after I've exposed this, so within few days, I left it opened and I got the first alert. And I got a security email notification where in which a particular bad actor was trying to probe into the SSH port. Okay, so we are going to see that we are not going to be looking at setting up security hub or guard duty, but I just want to show you that there are real threats in the cloud. Every day, bad guys keep keep on, combing and going through the internet to look for vulnerability to attack. And one of those things is open SSH port or any open traffic that we're going to see in this video. So the alert include detailed threat intelligence, the geolocation, that is it's going to give me the type of threat that I was exposed to or that have been attacked. It's going to give me the geolocation of where the attack is coming from. It's going to give me the exact API call, the IP address that carry out that reconnaissance is going to show me all that. And we are going to see it in the email um, notification. So, what is guard duty? What is our security hub, and how does it work? Security hub on its own is not a security tool. It doesn't detect anything. It doesn't go to track activities or actions that are taken in the cloud. But what it does is it aggregates the findings that have been detected by every other security feature that have been, enabled in your environment. For example, let's say as it is in my environment, in my AWS environment, okay, I enable guard duty. I enable guard duty. Okay, I enabled guard duty, which is a threat detection tool that continuously monitor your AWS environment to detect any unwholesome activities, and it's going to report them. That is what GuardDuty does. Then also in my environment, I enabled AWS Config. Okay. I also enable CloudTrail. I enable CloudTrail. Okay. So now I now enable what is called Security Hub. Okay. I enable what is called Security Hub. So what does Security Hub does, or what does it do? So all the threat detections, all the information that is gathered by GuardDuty will be sent to Security Hub. All the information that is gathered by AWS Config will be sent to the Security Hub. Also, that of CloudTrail will be sent to Security Hub. All these informations here are called findings. Okay, so Security Hub is a central location that aggregates all these informations. Okay, it aggregates. Okay, it aggregates all the findings here, and in a single platform, you can view all the information that have been gathered. So simply, we can just refer to Security Hub as a collection point. It's a bucket or a platform, you know, a kind of a dashboard that collects all the necessary, all the informations and findings from every other security tool like GuardDuty, AWS Config, CloudTrail, and from there you can see it. So I've set up all of this. Instead of going into GuardDuty to look at what happened, go into AWS Config to see what happened, or go into your CloudTrail to see what happened, you can just go into your Security Hub and you'll be able to see at glance what the issue are, or whatever that has been reported. So now, so now let me show you my AWS environment. Now this is my AWS environment, okay, and this is my access portal where I have all this account here, almost about 10 or 11 of this account, and I have a dedicated account here, this one here, that manages. Sorry, this one here, the security audit, is the one responsible for security management in my environment. Such accounts are called delegated administrators account. Okay, you can see in some environment, just like you can see here now, you can see this IAM is solely responsible for the management of identity and access in my AWS environment. And this is how it is done in the enterprise environment. You have dedicated account to handle certain service or services, as the case may be. So in my security audit account, I have set up my security hub to collect information from GuardDuty across my AWS account. So what does it look like when you get that security threat? So the first thing now, let me show you those resources that I have exposed to vulnerabilities. So I'm going to my management account. I'm going to log in with the administrator access, and I'm going to show you what I have exposed. So if you look at my EC2 instance, I click on EC2, and I have two servers that are running. So you can see I have this server. Let me just try to zoom in a little bit. So I have these two servers. I have one that I call Acme, please. Okay, that was intentional. You're not going to name any of your stuff like this. So you can see I call it Hackme, please, and I have my SQL server. So in the Hackme, if you go into the security in the security tab, and you click on the security group. If I click on the security group, you can see that the inbound rule on port SSH allow traffic from what? From everywhere, which is very, very bad practice to do. It is a terrible thing to do. You don't want to do this in a production environment. But I've done this intentionally. And also, if you go back to my EC2 instance and you see my SQL server, there's a MySQL running on this server as well. If you go to the networking, to the security, sorry, and you click on the security group, you will see that in the inbound rule, I've exposed MySQL port, which is 330. I've almost exposed it to what? To a public traffic. This is a terrible thing to do. You don't want to do this in your environment. But I intentionally do this because I want to see how bad guys attempt to attack your infrastructure and how AWS respond to it. So now, having seen all this, now I'm going to show you the um, the notification I got, the alert I got in my email about the threat. So I'm going to take you to my email now, and here is my email. So I actually created a sub inbox to collect all notifications. So that means in my security hub setup, I've set up SNS, and I've subscribed to the SNS so that um, I can get email alert about threat that come into my account. So over the time, I've received all these notifications. Okay, I've received all these notifications telling me about what is going on in my account. So you can see it's Security Hub alerts. This one is about 10:05. The first thing that happened is, if you open this, was when I turn off the CloudTrail, which is a security risk. Because when CloudTrail is turned off, it means that whatever action that happens, it won't be able to be tracked. So it was flagged, and I got this email, notification. Okay. Now, if I go back in there, also there's another notification that I received here. All these are threat notification, and I just got this today, and you can see that I've not opened it. Now, if we open it, let us see what happened. Also, we can see this threat. Now, if you look at it, it looks it doesn't make any sense, very difficult to read because it is written in JSON. But you can do one thing, you can convert it to a YAML. It is easier to read in YAML. So before we go to our security hub to actually see how it look like, let us see what we get in our security hub. So this is one of the alert I got. If you get something like this, how do you want to analyze it? Easily, it is difficult when it is sometimes difficult when you are reading through JSON. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the information. Okay, I'm going to copy everything, and I'm going to do two things. First, I'm going to take it to a YAML converter. I will convert it from a JSON to a YAML so that we can make sense of the information. And another thing you can do is also to copy it to an AI like ChatGPT to help you analyze it. However, there are some analysis tools like a Wireshark, like there are some tools that you can use to analyze logs. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to type JSON to YAML. I'm going to type JSON to YAML, and I love this so much. This JSON formatter is very, very handy. So I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to paste. So this is empty now, and what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to paste the JSON file that I copy. I'm going to paste it here, and you can see now it has converted it to what? To YAML for me. So let me expand it, and you can see now it makes more sense. It is a little bit much easier to read now. Let me see if I can um, zoom out a little bit and let us make sense of it. Okay. Now, if you can see it, it's telling me the detail type. It says it's security hub findings, which was imported. And you can see the account, my AWS account that is involved. And if you go down, it gave us some information, and it told us about the resource that is in question. It told us about the region. And in this case, look at the findings. It says, if you look at the findings from here, so if you look at it here, it says action type is a port probe. And it's a port probe on this port, and the name of the port is MySQL port. This is the IP address that is carrying out the attack. And the origin is assumed to be from here, which is in Netherlands, Netherlands is in Amsterdam. And what happens? It's telling me now that this traffic, was it blocked? It wasn't blocked because I did not set up anything to block it. I only set something to detect it. And what happens says an EC2 instance has an unprotected port which is being probed by unknown malicious host. What detected it? GuardDuty. So it was GuardDuty that detected it. And it's telling me the severity, which is low and all that. Okay, let's go back again. I'm going to close this. Okay, I'm going to close this and I'm going to zoom in again. I will go and copy another thread. Okay, I will copy another thread. I will go back to my security hub. Let me copy this thread. I'm going to copy this thread from here. Sorry. I'm going to copy it from here up to here. I'll copy it. I'll take it back to my converter, my JSON converter. I hope I can see it again. Okay, this is the one I used. And I'm going to paste this again. Control A, Control V. And I'm going to expand this. And I'm going to zoom in again or zoom out again. Now let us see what this one is telling us. The same security hub findings, okay, but this time it is my port 22, which is the SSH port. And if you look at it, it says the attack is from China. The city where the attack is coming from is unknown. And this is the IP address that is carrying out the attack. And what happened here, it says, this is the IP address, is performing SSH brute force attack. That is trying several passwords to see if they can hack into the SSH port. And it's a brutal force attack used to gain unauthorized access into my AWS, into my SSH port. So you can see this is also one of the security threat that I got. But let's assume you don't know all this. What can you do? You can use your AI to actually analyze it. So I'm going to go into ChatGPT and I'll ask ChatGPT to help me analyze this threat that I've gotten. Let's assume you don't know anything about it. So I'm in ChatGPT now. You don't need to say anything. Don't even tell him analyze. Just paste it. It's going to tell you something about it. So I just paste it and I click enter and look at it. It says a security hub findings imported from Amazon GuardDuty. That is, this attack was detected by GuardDuty, but was imported into Security Hub. It was imported from GuardDuty. And what is it doing is indicate that an external IP address from China has been performing SSH brute force attack on your EC2 instance. And it's giving me the ID of the EC2 instance ID. It's giving me the port, the IP address that is doing it. If you zoom out, you can see from here. It's giving me all the information. So you don't have to bother yourself about converting to YAML or anything. You can just put into your AI and it's going to give you whatever that is happening in it. So finally, now let us see how does it look like on our security hub. So if I go into my account now, okay, I'm going to go back to my, let me enable multi-session port so that I can log into several accounts at the same time. I've enabled that. So I'm going to go back to my access portal. I'm going to go into my security audit account and I'm going to log in with the security full admin. And let us see what we have in there. So I'm in the security audit account now, and I will click on Security Hub. I've used it recently, so it's still here. I'll click on Security Hub, and let us see what he's saying. And if you go straight down there, you can see summary. You can see the summary of it. It says what? If you have a threat summary, I have 12 low, threat summary. I can expand it if I want. I can expand it. Okay. I can expand it. Sorry. And you can see, let's look at the top two. I told you this one was when I disabled the CloudTrail. That is when I got this alert. But let's look at the two that I want to focus on. Look at the first one here. It says an unprotected port EC2 instance is being probed. That is what we just saw. If I click on it, it's going to give me the breakdown of what is happening. It says the region is in US East 1, it's in this account, it happened 23 hours ago, and this is the instance ID. If I view details, it can give you some other information, details, and you can see the detail now. It's giving you the, the ID, and what other thing can we get from here? It's saying that it's MySQL, that is the group name, MySQL Aurora, that is security group name. Also, if you go to findings, look at it here, findings, you can get other further information. An unprotected port is being probed. I look at another one here saying an EC2 instance was involved in SSH brute force. Now, these are the importance of setting up security in your environment so that you can get, almost at real time what is going on in your environment and you can take action almost immediately. So you might want to look into this, learn more about Security Hub, GuardDuty, CloudTrail, and any other thing that can help you to further, secure your AWS infrastructure. So this is just what I brought to you today. Like I said, it's not a lesson per se, but just to let you see um, some of the security actions that are going on in AWS environment. Before now, a lot of people don't believe. In fact, sometimes I don't believe that. Yeah, I know there are hackers out there, but I just believe that why would they target me? But look at this now. I left my account open. They are looking for a compromise. They saw an SSH port that is open. They saw my SQL port that is open, and they try to attack it by probing and try to access such vulnerability. So that is what I intend to show you today. If this make any sense to you, please like and comment. And then I'm going to take time to make a video on how to set up security in your environment, how to set up security up, how to set up GuardDuty, and all of that. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you.